Tito with another edition of Tito's Hot Toilet Take. Yeah, Jack Tito's back, better than ever. It is Monday, it is July 6th, 2026, and Tito, well, I'm in a phenomenal mood, Jack. Woo! I mean, what a great summer it has been, and we're in the heart of World Cup season. We are on the precipice. We're less than 12 hours away from the USA playing Belgium tonight in Seattle, and Tito and the boys, we're looking forward to watching Flo Balogun. What an outstanding decision by FIFA to suspend the suspension of Flo Balogun. What an absolute fraud of a red card he got last week when the USA was going up against Bosnia and Herzegovina, or however you say that country's name. And tip of the cap to Bosnia. They had a hard-fought game and couldn't take USA down, but USA's been playing really, really well, and I got a sneaky suspicion that USA is going to take care of business later on tonight and go on and face the winner of Spain and Portugal. I know my boys, they're looking forward to. They're hoping Portugal pulls it out, and Cristiano Ronaldo. They absolutely love Ronaldo and that fraud of a player he is. What a big wolf. But Tito's a Messi fan per se, but I always got to root for the home team, and USA is going to take care of business. I think they're going to advance to the quarterfinals and maybe even make it to the semifinals if they play Portugal or Spain. But we'll see how it happens. Everyone wants to rant and rave about FIFA and about the corruption. And one thing, and Tito is not a fan of FIFA whatsoever. I'll call a spade, and FIFA. The corruption is evident with people. You can go back to Qatar and all that nonsense with getting awarded a World Cup with all the fraud, all the payments, all the pay for play, all that nonsense. And one thing people didn't really think through was, you take a phone call from the president, our loudmouth president. I don't care what your politics are. Our president is a very, very loudmouth. He wants to take credit for things that he either is a part of or he isn't a part of. And of course, he has to open his big fucking mouth. I made the call. I called the FIFA president. I told her, hey, listen here. You gotta suspend that suspension. Let our star player play. And so guess what? People goes ahead and rescinds the suspension. It isn't really rescinded, but they suspend it, which you made your bet, FIFA, with awarding Trump the FIFA. The FIFA Peace Prize, whatever nonsense that is. And now you've made your bed, now you're going to have to lie in it. So here come all the UEFA, here come everyone else from the entire globe. Soccer is a global sport. So, you made your bed, so get ready to hear from the criticism from every angle except for the USA, which is not enamored with soccer. They're trying to get enamored with soccer. And maybe if the US can win the World Cup, maybe U.S. will become enamored with soccer, which only speaks to the corruption and the hypocrisy. But you know what? I digress, because guess what? It benefits the U.S. for having Balogun play. And I think there's some sort of there's some last-minute shenanigans going on trying to appeal the appeal to the appeal. I mean, my head's spinning just talking about appeals. But, everyone wants to talk about that. Tito wants to talk about Tito, okay? It's been a handful of months since Tito's been on Domesticated Gamblers. That's no more. That show is gone. And so Tito hasn't really done a toilet take in a couple of months. And so it's been well overdue. I was at last week we had an athletic association happy over at Milo's over on the hill, which is a great spot. Love heading over to Milo's to partake in some bocce ball. Even though Tito never played bocce ball, I don't know what the rules of bocce ball. Maybe I need to learn the rules of bocce ball so I can become the best player in Missouri at bocce ball. Sending my two youngest sons over to Ambrose this year since the fucking Archdiocese decided to close SCCA. What a fraud of a... I'll tell you one other fraud of an organization is that Archdiocese. I'll tell you that right now, Jack. They don't know their ass from their hole. I'll tell you that right now. So, but, it's been a great summer. Was able to go and have some adult beverages with a handful of individuals over there, representing SEC athletics. Tito does his part. Tito, everyone wants to talk about Tito and and all this fun stuff and being the greatest youth sports coach, and I am. I'm the best youth sports coach in Missouri. I mean, probably in the country. I mean, if everyone wants to call a spade a spade. No shenanigans. Tito's a great youth sports coach. You just ask Tito; he'll tell you. But you're able to go over there, reminisce, talk about some stories, talk about some different events that have transpired over the years, and Tito was on cloud nine because last Monday, Tito kept a career with the fifth graders. I coach all the sports for that fifth grade squad, whether it was baseball, whether it was basketball, soccer. I even did some track. I mean, I did volleyball too. I think volleyball was my best sport. But baseball, my was on cloud nine because last Monday, what happens? Tito brings home the championship. Yeah, never mind that it's machine pitch. I don't really give it. Never mind that it was in a rec league. Never mind any of that nonsense. Tito still brought home the championship. Still brought home the only championship, I think, for SCCA. I think, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but that's okay. But brought home the championship last Monday over at St. Mark. Took St. Ambrose's measure, and then had to go up against an undefeated Our Lady of Lourdes bunch. And what did Tito do? Tito rallied his troops, rallied his team. And what happened? We brought home the championship, got awarded some medals. And so I'm on cloud nine. I'm going over to the Athletic Association happy hour, thinking I'm going to get hosannas thrown at my feet. And what do I walk into? First of all, I walk into a happy hour that is outside in 98-degree heat and 100% humidity. Tito is sweating bullets. I mean, I'm thinking, who the hell made this decision to have this happy hour outside? I mean, I know I got a little bit of a weight problem, but guess what? Tito likes to have things done in the air conditioning. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, so oh my, I was already on edge. And on top of all that, I get inundated with these requests. I get inundated. Oh, what's your next take? What's your next toilet take? We love Tito's hot toilet takes. Well, Tito will do a toilet take when Tito's ready to do a toilet take. And to make matters worse, I have to be outside with some of these individuals, and they're talking about Tito. They're talking about takes. They're talking about, and then on top of all that nonsense, I get an Irish goodbye from the Athletic Association president. I don't even know what a fucking Irish goodbye. Everyone's asking, hey, what happened to the press? Where's the president? He bolted like the wind. He had other responsibility. What kind of other responsibility? This is an Athletic Association happy hour, and he had to bolt like the wind. Hey, he didn't want to confront Tito. He didn't want to have Tito hold him accountable with having a happy hour out there in the fucking heat with Tito sweating bullets. No, he didn't want to have that conversation. He had to have another conversation with Tito when one of Tito's family members had to hold the CYC accountable because there was umpires. There was an umpire at the machine pitch tournament that was making bad call after bad call, and so he had to have that kind of conversation with Tito and talk about, hey, get your parents in line. Hey, get my parents in line. Why don't you get in line? You get your stuff. Why does the CYC get in line with the abomination of umpires that we have going on with the CYC? The umpires, the referees. I mean, Tito's doing it all, Jack. He's doing. I referee basketball. I'm coaching all these damn teams. I'm participating. I'm helping out with the instructional basketball league. I'm helping that part out. People are clamoring for more Tito, and you don't have the decency. You have to Irish goodbye me. And after having a happy hour in 98-degree heat with 100% humidity, Tito is sweating bullets. I'm licking fluids left and right. I must have lost about 15 pounds that evening. Never mind, I took care of it over the weekend with all the barbecue for 4th of July. Happy 250 USA. And now I'm going to root on the USA for tonight, Jack, because we're gonna take Belgium's measure. We're going to take care of that whiny country of Belgium. Why don't you start paying your NATO membership, and we'll start talking about every other nonsensical call from FIFA. So let's go USA tonight, Jack. And guess what? Athletic Association British, here's your Irish goodbye right here, Jack. Woo!